welcome back to Softball with Boarding Hitting Courses. I hope by this point that you have done your warm-up. Please do your contact to extension and follow through if you have not done so already. We never want to be hitting pole. Alright, so the purpose of this video is we're going to work on hips, because hips provide power, and power provides good hips, right? So it all comes back full circle. So today we're going to specifically work on lower half. I'm not too worried about our upper half, and so if we are able to make sure that our hips and our knee and our shoulder in a line, this is what we're working on, then we're in a good path. So today what we're going to be doing is making sure that our hips are getting through with a lot of power. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is kind of a fun drill. I have this drill warming up with some girls when we do hip tick, okay? So ideally what we're going to do is we're going to start at the back of the box. And it's kind of a crossover drill. So we're going to step forward, step back, so our hips are pointed back, step right before the ball, and really twist our hips. So it should be kind of a fun drill, it should be kind of a loose drill. And then all you're going to do is just repeat about 8 to 10 times, and then come back to the video. So here's what it's going to look like, okay? Okay, so at this point in the video, you should have already done your 8 to 10 reps. So now we're going to go on to the next exercise. So to think about getting your hips involved and getting your hips with a lot of power is you got to kind of think of a spring, okay? So when we think of a spring, if you really push it together, it's going to swing really far apart, right? Or like a rubber band. If you pull it far, it's going to go a lot farther than if you just hold it there, right? So that is what this next drill is going to be. So I'm going to make sure that our hips are turned in a little bit, facing the ball, and then when we're ready to go, we're really going to rank on those hips. So that is the purpose of this part of the video, is where we're going to really make sure our hips are going forward and through the ball. So if you feel like you are a little unbalanced, or if you feel like a little uneasy doing this, that's totally fine, totally normal. We want your hips going fast, so this is the only way to get better, right, is to keep going over and over and over again. So that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into the box, right? Or if you are hitting just in your garage or into a net, just make sure that tee is right in front of your front foot. So the way that you're going to see if you're doing this correctly is making sure that when you load back, you're going to tilt your hips in just a tiny bit. We're going to kind of, it's kind of like a screw, we're going to kind of scrunch you up. Okay, so from here, you're going to step, and you're going to take your back hip and rip it to the fissure, rip it right through. Now, when you do this, a key feature here is you're going to throw this back knee to the ground, right? Kind of like a lunge. We're not going to throw it forward and keep our back leg straight, but we're going to throw it straight down into a lunge. Again, we're not going all the way to a lunge where this leg is bent as well. We're just going to keep it straight. So if I walk through this with you, ideally it's going to look like where we load, our hips turn in just a tiny bit, we step, and we're going to crank those hips forward, knee goes down, and then my hands follow through. If our hands go before our hips, we kind of tend to roll over, no power with that. So, let me give you some examples of that, okay? Back, hips, All right, so at this point of the video, you should have done both the drills, the one, the crossover drill, and then kind of the stretching out your hips, right? Really turning them in and going. So at this point, this is the end of the video, so congratulations, you have worked on your hips. So I always want to remind you that you can't just do this one day and be perfect the next. So it's going to take consistency, and it's going to take time to get through it to make sure everything is perfect at all times. So now if you're tired, let's take a break, take a day, come back tomorrow, whatever it is, or if you're wanting to keep going, go to the next video.